On the heels of a very successful Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view, one of ROH's biggest stars has demanded his release from Ring of Honor / AEW. Former world champion Jonathan Gresham reportedly has demanded his release from the company over some differences he has had with Tony Khan. This comes from a report from Fightful Select. Former Ring of Honor World Champion Jonathan Gresham asked for his release Saturday ahead of the ROH Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view show that saw him lose his title. There was apparently lack of communication between Gresham and the company to the point where Gresham felt that as if he was being disrespected. Now, the report also highlights that Gresham was trying to get a meeting with Tony Khan for a while, and apparently when he procured that meeting, he expressed his frustration with the communication, and it led to a back and forth where Gresham reportedly, at least, cussed Tony Khan out. Gresham, of course, was the former ROH World Champion. He lost that title, in fact, to Claudio Castagnoli at Death Before Dishonor last night. This is a big story. And it's not just a big story in the world of ROH, but for AEW as well, because I think it highlights one of the things we've seen for a little bit with AEW, and I think are going to see more and more, which is just a natural thing, of talent being frustrated and it being not necessarily the talent's fault that they're frustrated, and it being AEW's fault. And I think here's the thing. And again, I don't know the details of what Jonathan Gresham is mad about specifically. And we really don't, outside of just apparently there was a report, or within this report, it was noted that one of his frustrations was the lack of time for the main event, the ROH title match. But my point is, for a while with AEW, there was a honeymoon period. There existed about 2.5, 3 years almost of just bliss with AEW. We loved it. They could do nothing wrong, and it was because they were the new kids on the block. They were doing exciting, week to week, nonstop, awesome television. And now we're kind of seeing, as Cody leaves, as we hear things about the way MJF feels like he's being not held to is not being put up there with people like CM Punk, people like Bryan Danielson, the new people that have come over. When you're seeing rumblings from people like Big Swole, people who are leaving the company, right? When you're seeing all of this, it really does beg the question of, or it really does bring to light that the honeymoon period with AEW is over. And now AEW, and I think a lot of AEW fans as well, are a lot of AEW fans are critiquing the company. And look, the rollout of Ring of Honor has not been perfect. I think we can all agree, and it never would have been, because but what AEW is trying to do is they're trying to find a way to use the stars that they have in another company, but also not necessarily have it be developmental and have it be this weird thing where it's another company, but it's related to AEW. Something we haven't seen before, and I give them credit for trying to do this and trying to make it work. But with that, when you're trying to highlight your own talent, some of the Ring of Honor talent is going to feel slighted. It's going to feel like they're probably not being highlighted. Jonathan Gresham was a world champion, but for weeks on AEW television, what were the two things we were talking about? We were highlighting the tag team match between the Briscoes and FTR, deservedly so. We were the match, building up of the match of Jay Lethal and Samoa Joe was bigger and better and more highlighted in the Ring of Honor World title match. And even Wheeler Yuta, the Ring of Honor Pure Champion, was more highlighted than the Ring of Honor World Champion Jonathan Gresham. So I do think that Gresham, in my eyes, I understand where he feels as if he has not been highlighted enough. He feels like maybe the company has communicated what the plans are for him in the future. And look, if he is in fact released, because I think Tony Khan has actually made it clear, like when someone wants their release, he usually is good about doing it. Of course, I think MJF's like the one exception. That being said, I believe that if he does, he's going to get courted from Japan. He's going to definitely get courted from Impact Wrestling, and it would make a lot of sense for him to go there, considering the fact that Jordan Grace is over there as well. So we'll see what happens. But I did want to talk about this real quick, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this. Hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released.